barely chewing that pig ear. Why? Why is it so loud? I hope you can't hear that. And I feel like I have lipstick on my teeth. Oh, no, I don't. Wow, that's a first.
Yes, I think I'm falling in love. I think I'm falling in love.
Welcome to today's video, guys. I'm super excited about it. As you can probably tell, I'm still in the holiday festivity mode. I still got my blinking tree light going. But before I get into the topic of this video, I did want to give you guys a little update on Tucker. If you guys saw the video before my last one, Tucker had surgery on this past Tuesday. He had a little tumor removed from his side. Okay, let me have that, thank you. And so if you were following me on Instagram, you probably saw I was a freaking mess during his surgery, after, like, everything. It's just so sad when your little fur baby is going through something and obviously they're in pain and they don't understand why. And just like, I want to be able to tell him so bad, you know, like you could tell he doesn't understand what's going on. He has this huge bandage wrapped around his waist and he's so upset, but he is doing better today. It's been 2 days since his surgery and he's able to walk around. The first day he barely could walk and he was so messed up from the anesthesia, it literally killed me. So now it's so much better that he's able to walk around, and he ate food this morning. He drank a whole bowl of water, so fingers crossed that when we get the results back, which by the way a lot of you have been asking, the doctor said in about a week to 14 days where we get the results back on whether or not the tumor is cancerous. So fingers crossed on that, but that is the only update that I have for Tucker. And now, getting into the topic of today's video, how to get back on track after the holidays. So first and foremost, I want to preface this with the fact that you should not feel guilty when you're dealing with the holidays and food and fun and family. Like, that's just not something that should come along with that. And I know I talked about this in a previous video before when it comes to flexible dieting, but it's like, if you're not prepping for a weightlifting meet the day after Christmas or something like that, there's really no reason to be tracking your macros or worrying about what you're eating on Christmas Eve, Christmas, whatever. Like, that's just my personal opinion on it. And I just feel like you should be enjoying the time with your family. Christmas only comes once a year. That's what I tell my clients. And I say that cautiously because, like, I don't mean for you to go out and eat, like, you know, try to do the 10,000 calorie challenge just because, you know, Mander said don't track macros on Christmas. It's just a time where I don't think that obsessing over what you're eating is necessary, nor do I feel it is any other time of the year. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people get in this mode when it comes to the holidays just because they eat, you know, differently than they normally do. And it just becomes this, like, guilty feeling. So many of my clients checked in with me today, the day after Christmas, and they were just like so upset about what they ate and they felt like crap and the scale went up, and it was just like, I just want to shake you guys and be like, it's okay. It is okay. And so my first tip for getting back on track after the holidays is to realize that if you did gain some weight, if you do feel bloated, if you do feel like crap, it's literally temporary. Do not beat yourself up over a couple pound fluctuation. That's totally normal. It happens to every single person that overindulges, that eats food that they don't typically eat. It happened to me, 3 pounds in one day just because I don't typically eat sodium. I don't eat high fat foods. So, like, that's just something that comes with it, and it's best to not, like, obsess over that, like, specific number that happened right after Christmas, and just realize, like, this is a temporary thing. It's only bloating, it's only water weight, and it will go away in a few days. So the second tip I have is kind of like a tag on to the first tip, and it is to not compensate for what you ate the day before or the weekend before, whatever happened over Christmas. Wipe your slate clean and start fresh. I feel like a lot of people go into this like, I'm eating super clean and I'm gonna cut my calories and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and it's like this very contrast to what just happened over the weekend, and I feel like that puts a lot of stress on you mentally and physically, and I just don't see its point. What happened in that weekend frame of Christmas Eve and Christmas is not destroying your progress forever. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not necessary to go the next day and to cut your carbs in half or eat like you don't ever eat and eat super clean and not eat anything processed, because I feel like that's just a bad habit to get into. It's like creating this negative connotation with food. And that's often when people get into this, like, I'm cheating on my diet type thing. I just feel like the best way that you can set yourself up for success is to not dwell on what happened over the holiday break or your holiday weekend, vacation, whatever it is, and just start fresh the next day. Like, don't change anything to your diet. Don't go out and start doing like hours of cardio. Just get back to normal. Like, you don't want to go from A to Z in 24 hours. Personally, I just don't feel like that's a good idea. Just get back to how you usually eat, plan your meals, and start fresh the next day. So my third tip is going to be to hold yourself accountable. And this is kind of like a general tip because a lot of people hold themselves accountable in different ways. And so I encourage you to kind of like find out what way works for you to give yourself some sense of accountability. And for some people, that's like, you know, if they want to go to the gym, the only way that they can do that is by having a gym buddy or like planning out their week, or maybe they post what they're going to do on social media and it kind of keeps them accountable, or they write it in a journal. You get what I'm saying? Find something that gives you the power and the ability to hold yourself accountable to whatever it is that you're going to do. I kind of want to say that if you are getting into the fitness world for the first time post holidays, don't set your expectations abnormally high. And I think that this is something that we're all guilty of, whether you've been in fitness for 5 years or 5 minutes. I feel like you look at these people, and social media is such a contributor to this, but we look at these people and we think that like if we get back on track after the holidays, or if we start working out after the holidays, you know, we're gonna look like Brooke Ends. Just keep that in mind, you know, like don't go over the top with setting these goals that are not achievable within a short amount of time, especially if you're coming back from a break. And just what I mean by that is like, if you've just taken 2 weeks off of the gym, don't come back the day after and think that you're gonna PR your Fran time. Or for those of you that don't know, CrossFit is like one of the CrossFit benchmark workouts that take a long time to PR. So just things like that. Don't expect to hit a back squat PR if you haven't back squatted in 8 weeks. Obviously there might be some exceptions to that, but you get what I'm saying. So something that helps me personally is to get organized, and you can take that in so many different ways. My fourth tip is just to get organized. Get organized in the kitchen, wipe out your Christmas shit. Like, I would be totally fine if I never saw another Christmas cookie for the rest of the year. I ate so many damn Christmas cookies and I just don't want them in my house anymore. So all of the Christmas crap that we ate over the break, over the weekend, I literally threw in the garbage. I didn't take any leftovers home. I didn't eat any Christmas crap the day after Christmas. I literally just got organized. I went back to the grocery store. I did my usual prep. I got back in the kitchen, like just getting organized with either your food or your routine. I think I've mentioned in a previous favorites video actually that I have a passion planner, which I still love, by the way, and I would recommend it if you guys like to keep yourself organized on a day-to-day basis. It's not really like a workout journal, but you can write like little workout things in there if you needed to. Even just something as simple as starting like a blog, an online blog to log your workouts. That's kind of like an accountability thing, but it's also organization to keep yourself organized so you know like how your week is gonna look when you're able to work out, what meals you're gonna prep, and so on and so forth. So I know that I mentioned not to set your goals like astronomically high or set your expectations astronomically high after taking a break, but I do think one way to get back on track after the holiday season or the holiday break, whatever, is to start fresh with new goals. And whether you do this the day after Christmas or New Year's Day, it really doesn't matter, but I think my fifth tip would just be to set goals that you haven't achieved so far. And obviously that kind of seems like monotonous, but I feel like if you set a goal like, oh, I want to lose 3 pounds, and you've already lost 3 pounds, but you gained it back over the Christmas break, like that's not really a motivating goal. So maybe try to find something, whether it's a strength goal or like stepping out of your comfort zone and signing up for a CrossFit class or a boxing class or something that's just like new and different to you. I feel like is a great way to kind of take your goals to the next level. Like try to stay away from goals that are just very basic and very like general. If you pick a goal that's very like specific and you don't necessarily set a time constraint on it, I feel like that's an easier way to stay motivated with that specific goal. So for me personally, just to give you guys an example, I mentioned in, I don't know which video it was, a couple videos ago, I mentioned that I was going to do a meet in March, which means that after this bulk, I'm gonna be kind of working my way back down to maintenance, and then from there doing a small cut depending on where my weight is before this meet. So I kind of have like a specific goal in mind for this meet, what numbers I wanna hit, what body weight I wanna be, and that kind of just keeps me motivated after the holidays, not to kind of just say F it and get into that mentality. I know that the holiday season is rough because it's a lot of stress, it's a lot of relatives, it's a lot of traveling, it's a lot of just like everything all together. And then I think a lot of things that I've been seeing, like just with my own clients, is that they have these Christmas things and then it kind of just like snowballs into New Year's, and then they're like, oh well, I had this New Year's Eve thing, and then I had this New Year's Day thing, and then before you know it, it's already 2018, and you're like, well, what happened? I feel like I saw so many things on Instagram or on social media this week in particular of like working off your holiday cookies or like putting your holiday food to good use. And it's like just a friendly reminder that like overeating even, and eating things that you don't typically eat during the holidays is 100% normal, and you don't have to go to the gym to work it off. Like, just don't get into that mindset. It's so stupid. I feel like, you know, it's different if you want to go to the gym and move and feel good because you're tired of sitting around. I totally get that. But just getting into that negative mindset of associating food with like needing to work it off, or like you can only eat if you go to the gym, like that's just kind of not a good, healthy, balanced lifestyle in my personal opinion, and that's not something that I will ever promote. So just remember that it's totally normal to eat like a freaking shark on Christmas. Like, I totally did. I ate so many Christmas cookies and I just said, F it. An apple pie is like my favorite thing. I just couldn't stop going back and eating the apple pie. Now that is over though, I'm feeling super motivated. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like when you take breaks like this, or maybe it's just me, but when I take breaks from tracking or when I eat foods that I don't typically eat, I feel like it actually motivates me even more to get back on track, and I have an easier time sticking to my macros even though I'm not cutting. I just have an easier time living a healthier lifestyle after I've indulged for a weekend. And I don't know what it is, maybe just because I feel like crap after I've eaten like that. I kind of like it. Like, it's that friendly reminder that like, hey, you do good, you give your body health most of the time. So when I eat like pounds of butter and pounds of sugar and I'm like about to puke, I'm like, this is why I eat healthy. This is why I eat the way that I do the majority of the year. That is going to conclude this super quick and easy, simple 5 tips to get back on track after the holidays. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and I hope it gave you some form of motivation. But just as a reminder, you guys, anything that you want to do comes from within you. I cannot motivate you to reach your goals, only you can motivate you to reach your goals. Maybe Bailey, I don't know. What are you doing? You're so weird. All right, guys, I'm closing out this vlog. I hope you guys have a super awesome New Year's and enjoy yourself and crush your goals in 2018. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.